So, Pulsecon. It's been and it's gone, and it was good. I really enjoyed it. I watched a little bit of the second day. I watched the G.I. Joe panel, the Zoids panel, and the Transformers section as well, and it was really, really good. And I think it was put together quite well, and I hope they do it again next year. I think it was really, really good. I think from a Transformers point of view, the biggest disappointment was the leaks beforehand, and I'm going to say his name again. Tonton, you ruined it for me. And you ruined it for a lot of fans as well. And it's just a shame that you would have to lock yourself off social media in order to stop yourself from getting these leaks by these so-called fans who are ruining it for the majority of fans on these occasions. And it's been a bit of a rubbish year, hasn't it? And this was a nice convention for us to look forward to and get some new exciting toy news, and it was a little bit taken away from us. But nevertheless, there was lots and lots of things to talk about. So first up, Ghostbuster Plasma series are releasing an Ecto one. It looks quite cool. This will probably be held until the movie finally comes out. Then we might actually get some sales on these things. I've only got Egon from the Plasma series. I've got no intention of picking up the others while they're at full price. But it looks cool, looks really well done. I'm not sure how it will scale with the figures. I've only seen photographs, but it looks pretty cool. Yeah, nice to see a Ghostbusters vehicle. Now on to Star Wars. There were some festive figures released or announced. No interest from me whatsoever, but there you go. If you're into them, pick them up. There is a HasLab Vintage collection, Razor Crest from The Mandalorian. Looks very, very cool. I think it's about $350, $360. It's been funded already. Looks cool. Again, not for me. I don't do anything vintage collection, and even though I love The Mandalorian, I'm not paying that much for it. If I didn't buy Unicron, I'm not going to buy the Razor Crest. So on to some new figure reveals. There were some archive collection for next year revealed, including Admiral Thrawn, Clone Commander Cody, which I think was the fan vote as a reissue, and we're getting some Empire figures. So we're getting Luke and Han in their snow gear, which is perfect for my Hoth little display. As you all know, Endor. Hoth is my Empire Strikes Back is my favourite film. I'll get my words out in a minute. And the Hoth battle scene is something I'm trying to create because I've got the snow speeder and all of that, and I will get there eventually. And these two will look really, really nice in that collection. Of course, there is an exclusive Wampa, which we'll maybe talk about a little bit later. Maybe we won't, but that's one of the exclusives from this convention. So the archive collection is back. There's no anniversary, so there's no more Empire figures or anything like that. So we're getting more from the archive collection. We're also finally getting a Jar Jar Binks in the Black Series. It looks really, really well done. I really like it, to be honest. But I'm not going to pick it up because it's Jar Jar Binks. It's done really well, but I don't know. I think it's cool, but probably not for me. Of course, we're getting a Return of the Jedi Boba Fett, the most released figure in the Star Wars probably universe. He's getting a deluxe figure with some extra weapons and some effects parts that were in Return of the Jedi. This is the stuff that probably should have come with the latest re-release of him. I don't know how I feel about this. I need to, unless it's completely different mould. Absolutely not going to be in for it, but it is cool that they have done a Return of the Jedi version because he gets his gun cut in half and he's got the flame thingy and all of that cool stuff. There was an exclusive. The Mandalorian Armourer was put up for release and is actually due for dispatch some point in October. So that's a cool one to see. I know she's getting a single pack figure, but you know what? It's cool to get at the exclusive. I think it comes with like making the Mandalorian's helmet, which is pretty nice. So there was also some Zoids. So Zoids are back for the third generation, the first time since 2004. These ones come with like little riders on the back. You still have to make them, but you don't have to cut them off sprues anymore. look quite cool. You can battle them and all of that cool stuff. Okay, on to G.I. Joe. Now there was some it's a vintage collection. I forget what it's called. Retro collection. There was a Roadblock and some other ones, and Scarlet released. I'm not going to go into those. So I don't think they're real vintage ones anyway. They're not the O-ring ones from when I was a kid. But there was 4 classified series figures announced. We're getting another Cobra Trooper. This one without the sniper rifle, slightly different paint deco. For everyone who missed out on the Cobra Island one, I think that's a cool little troop builder. And it's already sold out in a number of places, I've noticed. Also, we are getting Zartan, and this figure looks nice. Again, not for me, not a full price, won't be pre-ordering him. I think it's a cool looking figure, but he's not a necessity on my G.I. Joe shelf, because I've literally just got one cube, one shelf, and I don't want to overflow it. Some more Cobra Island, so some more figures that people will struggle to get. Firefly looks really cool. I like the detail on the face. You can't really see it from this photo, but they've made him scorched and all of that stuff. And I don't know if Dave will be tempted with this one, as he's got a mask. He doesn't like the characters with facial expressions. He prefers masks and all of that stuff. But yeah, it's a cool figure. And we're getting the Viper as well, which again looks cool, but again it's a Cobra Island, which is a Target exclusive. And apparently these are not getting a UK release, unlike the first wave of Cobra Island, which I think most of the normal retailers in the UK got hands on, like In-Demand, Kapow, Comics and Cocktails. Yeah, so import stock only if you want a Firefly or a Viper for now. And that is it for the non-Transformers stuff. So we dive straight in to Kingdom. So Kingdom was finally officially announced, and I'm really, really happy that it's here and out there now. And you know what, I have to say, whether you're into Beast Wars or not, these toys look absolutely stunning. So let's start from the bottom with the new core class, which is basically the new Legends, to be honest with you. So I'm going to talk you through them right now. I'm going to look at the pictures on my phone. I'm going to stick them up on here. So let's start off with the core class Optimus Prime. And I've seen people discussing this on Twitter and so on and so forth, saying, oh yeah, he's not one for me, or I don't know why they've done it and all that. Well, it's simple for me. They've made a pocket money, affordable Optimus Prime, one that we probably haven't had for a good few years. Probably since all the way back in the 30s with a little one that come with like a little roller Target Master thingy. I think it's great. I think it opens the door for a new wave of generation of Transformers fans. The guys on the panel were actually talking about that and hoping this line would open up a new door for future Transformers fans. And why not do it with the spearhead of the brand, which is Optimus Prime? He looks okay. The truck mode doesn't look the best, but the robot mode looks pretty decent for his size. And yeah, I heard someone mention that this could be retooled into Huffer, which we'll talk about Huffer a little bit later on. But I think it's a cool figure and great as a little pocket money figure, as he's going to be around the about the £10 mark. Another core cast figure, we're getting Rat Trap. We've seen him before. He looks cool. Probably not for me. He's probably going to be a miss for me, but he looks pretty good. We're also getting, this was a new reveal today, one that Tonton didn't nick, is core class Vertebrake. And this looks like, I heard them say it was like a fossil velociraptor. That was more difficult to say than it should have been. I think it looks cool. I think the figure action, the robot man, looks slightly female. He says when there's a big bone dangling between the legs. But it looks cool. It's good to have a new mould. I do quite like the look of these fossilizers. This one doesn't come apart, but nevertheless, it's a cool looking figure. So I'm happy to see that in the line. Speaking of fossilizers, let's move on to the deluxes and let's look at Paleotrex. I mentioned him in my last video. I think the dinosaur mode, the bone dinosaur mode, looks amazing. I think the robot mode looks meh. I like the fact that that head does turn into Primal's mace, which is pretty cool. And actually, when I've seen the weaponizer mode, thanks to Tonton's Stolen Goods, it transforms into a giant axe, which looks a bone axe, which looks really, really good. He's a maybe for me. He's a maybe. Won't really be picking up any of the core class figures for myself. But this might be the one deluxe that I'm actually interested in. So next up is deluxe class Cheetor. He looks really cool. Looks a really, really nice figure. I heard people saying they would have liked a blaster with him. I saw someone somewhere will do a 3D printed one for you. He's got his tail whip. I think it looks great. I think it's again, I'm not the biggest Beast Wars fan, but maybe this is a maybe for me. I don't know. I don't want to go all in on this line, but you know what? Cheetor looks pretty cool. So he's a maybe. Just like Black Arachnia, I mean, I do like Black Arachnia as a character. I liked the incarnation in animated and Arachnid in Prime. And this is where it all began for that character. She's done very well. And what you're noticing is that they've actually been really faithful to the robot modes, but gone more almost realistic in the animal modes. I think this is a cool looking spider. Yeah, Black Arachnia, pretty cool little figure. And is that it for the deluxe class? No, it's not. I forgot one. And how could I forget the one that I actually want? It's Warpath. Finally, we get a Generation 1 looking Warpath. And it looks great. It looks great. I like the shield thing that can attach to the arm that goes underneath the tank. I think the tank mode is great. Not quite sure about the eyes, but that's kind of cartoon accurate. I think it looks great. He's going to be a bit bigger than Cliffjumper, but not as tall as some of the other deluxes. He's a mini bot after all, and he is the one of two key figures that I'm going to pick up in Wave 1. And moving on to the Voyagers, we'll talk about the next key figure, Cyclonus. This thing looks great. Absolutely great. I know on this image here it shows a bit of a gappy knee, but I think that's slightly mistransformed due to posing. I think it looks great. I think it absolutely looks great. It's a Cyclonus that we've needed in the main line, and I'm so excited to get him. He's number 1 on my list to pick up from this line. He is beautiful, and he looks like he'll fit in really nicely with that Studio Series 86 Scourge that we saw in last week's Weekend Toys. So yeah, Cyclonus. And the other Voyager in that wave is Optimus Primal. Now, who actually needs a masterpiece now? Optimus Primal, if you see this figure. It looks great. Again, more animal-like alt mode with the fur. It looks like a realistic gorilla instead of the one in the show. And I know that will upset some people who want cartoon accuracy. But welcome to the Transformers Club, mate, because we've been waiting that long to get toon accuracy on some of the mainline figures that we just getting in Siege and Earthrise. You might have to wait till the next round of Kingdom to get them looking like they did before, and they might even retool them. You never know in the selects and all that. But Prime looks great. Is he a maybe for me? I don't know. I think the toy looks great. I do want to have a look at some of these. But yeah, he looks really cool. He looks really well done. And whether it's for you or not, and I'm not a massive Beast Wars fan, I'm just intrigued to see what these are like. I really am. And I really enjoyed the original Primal toy that I bought when I did that series of videos, Give Beast Wars a chance. I've still got that toy, and it's a pretty cool one. And then we got the leader. And of course, the leader is T-Rex Megatron, and it looks really good. I like the T-Rex mode. It looks a little bit like a vicious Barney, but you know what? It looks cool. I think they've nailed the robot mode. I'm not a massive Beast Wars fan. I can't remember seeing too much of it, but the images I've seen, that's nailed. The head sculpt's nailed, and it looks a great figure. And isn't this a treat for you Beast Wars fans? The first wave has got some key characters in there. And I think it's absolutely amazing for as I say, for all of these Beast Wars fans, it's an amazing, amazing time for you to pick up your collecting mantra again. So there you go. Now let's talk about some other exclusives. We had. There's going to be, there already has been, re-released some Transformers Prime stuff. So there is a Breakdown and Veercon 2-pack, which do come with the ARMS Microns that are like model kits, which I'm surprised to see. I wasn't expecting those to be in the 2-pack. We did know about this one before, as it was leaked. But also Hades Megatron as well, with his ARMS Microns. That's another figure that is that has been announced, and that is actually ready to ship in October, along with Breakdown, which is pretty cool. So the latest Amazon 2-pack was announced, and this time it's a reissue of the Autobot clones, Fastlane and Cloudraker, or whatever we've called them in this in this iteration. I've got them already. I've got the Takara versions. I've got the original 2-pack. I think it was with Wingspan and Fastlane. And then I picked up the other clone from someone was selling him on eBay out that Velocitron set. So I've got no need for those two figures. But if you did miss out on them, they come with a slightly more cartoon accurate deco. It's an option for you, and that's an Amazon exclusive. The Transformers Red series. I forget what Red stands for. Some rubbish. But we still haven't got Wave 1 hit yet in the UK. Starting to hit in the US, and they on the fence. But they announced 2 more figures, and these two, to be honest, knock the first wave out the water for me in how they look. You've got Transformers Prime RC, which looks absolutely lovely. Great detail, and I think this is where the Red series will come into its own. Not with the G1 blocky characters, but with the other Transformers shows. And also we are getting another Cheetor in the Red line. So not only are we getting a Cheetor in Kingdom, we're also getting a Cheetor in the Red line. And again, this looks very nice. Slightly different paint deco to the one we had in the Kingdom line. This one's more Beast Wars accurate in colour with the head colour and everything. But it looks absolutely great. And yeah, not for me, but for you Beast Wars fans, aren't you being treated? So, I'm going to leave you with this picture, and this is a picture they showed during the Kingdom panel when they were announcing all that good stuff. And this is essentially a little sneak peek about what we're going to get in the line. And you can see there's a load of cool characters on there, like there's a T-Rex Megs, there's Warpath, there's Primal with the Fossilizer armour, there's Optimus Prime, there's Cheetor. But if you're observant, you will see a few characters on there yet to be announced. So there's some fossilizers. There's a crocodile one on the floor, which looks quite cool. In the water, there's a character that I believe is called Polar Claw, who wasn't in the actual Beast Wars show, but he's one of the fans' favourites from the original toy line. You can actually see just above Polar Claw's head as well. There's a claw from the Beast Wars Scorponok, and actually on Black Arachnia's packaging, and I don't have a picture of this, sorry, but you can see Scorponok and Dinobot. You can see Cyclonus and Black Arachnia. You can also see Soundwave's gun sticking out the corner, so maybe we're going to get another version of Soundwave, or even just an Earthrise one, Netflix Earthrise one reissued. Galvatron, we can see a Galvatron on there, and that would be absolutely awesome if we could get him. Could he be the Commander class figure, maybe? Who knows? Another candidate for that Commander class figure could be Ultra Magnus. Now, even though he died, apparently, back in Siege, in the Netflix show, spoilers, sorry about that, you should have watched it by now. This is G1 Ultra Magnus. This is what we need. This is what I need anyway. This is what a lot of people need. The Netflix one is great. The Combiner Wars one was great, but you know what? This is what we need. We need that Magnus. Could he be the Commander class figure this time? Who knows? Huffer. So Huffer, you can see him there in front of Ultra Magnus. He looks cool. I hope he isn't a retool of Optimus Prime, the core class one, but looking at that image, I don't think he will be. I think he'll get his own mould, and that'll obviously mean the pipes, which will be great. See Rhinox up the top right hand corner, and just in front of Ultra Magnus you can see Inferno, so we are going to finally get Inferno from that grapple mode. Fighting Waspinator, another unannounced figure in the sky, is Trax. I heard people saying, is he going to have his faceplate or is he not going to have his faceplate? I don't think he'll have his faceplate, to be honest with you. And obviously you see Wheeljack in there as well, a bit random that Wheeljack's there and Arcee. There's Air Razor there, I think that's Air Razor, so that's another Beast Wars character. And then the Starscream again, and I've got a theory with Starscream. I think he's going to be semi-transparent. Because of that episode of Beast Wars when he took over Waspinator's body, his ghost, I think that Starscream is going to be the Earthrise mould. Either just re-released again, or re-release semi-transparent, and I'll be all over that. Why not buy another Seeker? No thrust on there though yet, which makes me think, oh, is he going to be another one of these bloody Amazon exclusives? You watch, he will be. I bet you he will be. And then, of course, the big thing that I've been avoiding up until now is in the middle there is a giant Transformer who obviously transforms into the Ark. So it's almost confirmed now that is going to be this year's Titan, a transforming version of the Ark. Now I've heard people talk about it being, in the comics there was the last Autobot and the head sculpt looks very similar to that, which I haven't got a picture of here but I have seen it and it does look like that. It almost like the Autobot symbol. I think it's great. Am I going to buy it? I don't know. I'd love the Ark, but displaying a Titan in base mode, or in shuttle mode, it'd be huge. So who am I kidding? I'm going to end up buying it anyway. I know what I'm like. But yeah, it's interesting to see. Now the great thing is about this Kingdom line for me is I don't have to be all in it. And even though, as I say, Primal looks cool, the T-Rex Megas looks cool, Cheetah looks cool, some of those figures look really, really cool. I'm not going to buy them all. Am I going to pick up one or two of them? I probably am. But what I'm going to focus on mainly is getting those key G1 characters, because that's what I'm all about, right? There isn't a single Beast Wars figure, I think, on display in this room. In fact, the only two I've got are up in the loft, Waspinator and Primal. Now, I'm going to have a look, because at the end of the day, next year, this is going to be the main Transformers line. We might get Studio Series 86, which hasn't been announced yet, but I am going to dive in for a few. But obviously, my priority is picking up those G1 characters that are missing from my collection. And let's talk about Studio Series 86 for a quick second. Nothing announced. So maybe that's going to be one for the New York Toy Fair in February time, maybe. Maybe not. But it does give me a little bit of hope that some of the figures that we've seen, not Hot Rod, because Hot Rod looks great, but that cut figure, I think that might be a pre-production sample or a first cut. You never know. We might end up with a slightly amended head sculpt, similar to what happened with what's his called? He's down there. Rotorstorm. He had a new head announced and produced after the original announcement with his straight Spinster head. But yeah, I have to say, Pulsecon was brilliant. I really enjoyed it. It was nice to sit there it was a Saturday afternoon. I watched the G.I. Joe stuff, the Zoid stuff, and then the Transformers stuff. And the making of the actual Kingdom, the Earthrise and Siege was really cool. We got to see a picture of that. A picture of a trailer of the new series. Interestingly, we have Conehead Tetrajets. Oh God, are they going to release them now? They probably will, won't they? Oh well, there you go. Now, exclusive wise, shall I tell you what I bought? Yeah, I should. I should really. I'm going to tell you. I'm going to put you out in your misery. Hardly misery, but there you go. So I have bought. I bought the Mandalorian Armourer. I managed to pick that up from Comics and Cocktails on Friday night. I think it looks good. I think it looks a good figure. I've got a little Mandalorian display I've just set up over there. I think it looked good, and I would have got the single carded release, and I thought, you know what, it was literally there in stock at about 10 on the Friday night, so I picked up that. And I'm going to talk to you about what I picked up last night, which was the Transformers Prime Breakdown and Vcon 2-pack, and it was a nightmare, an absolute nightmare. I managed to get on there. I think it was $9.59 actually on In Demand Toys, and I clicked the button. It was in my basket. It then took me the best part of half an hour to actually get access into my basket, thanks to it crashing and all that, in order for me to actually go to PayPal and pay for it. Now I did get there in the end, which was fine, but it wasn't a pleasant experience. And I'm not blaming In Demand Toys because people were banging their server. I think it's just mad that this is how collecting has gone now. But I was tempted to pick up the Hades one as well. I actually put it in my basket afterwards, because what I tend to do with these things is just buy them one at a time, rather than going all in one go, because I don't want to have to In Demand Toys to wait and hold on to all my stuff, if that makes sense. But you know what, I'm happy I've got it. I mean, that breakdown figure is really cool. And interestingly enough, when I bought my Silas breakdown figure, that was the cheaper option of the two. Surely now that will be the rarer one, because this reissue one will devalue that one substantially. Not a lot, but obviously I think it will, because people will just have this version of breakdown now, and people won't be paying that £100 or whatever it is. So I don't know what to do. I'll probably end up keeping my other Silas one as well. And yeah, I'm going to talk now about tomorrow, and I'm going to let you know what I've got when I cut to the end of this video in a moment. So I found out today, thanks to Borders Dude, that In Demand Toys have all of the actual con exclusives tomorrow at 12 o'clock. Including three sets of figures I actually really, really want. The Pit of Judgment, I do want that, and that's going to be my first choice. I'm going to try and get me a Pit of Judgment. I'm also going to have a look at getting the Wampa, because apparently I've got the Wampa coming in, and that'll fit nice with my Hoth collection. And finally, the Heroes of Endor set. Now, I know these are getting some single carded releases, but I haven't got a speeder bike as of yet. I should have picked up that speeder bike pilot back in the day from the archive line, but never mind. So, yeah, I mean, I think Pit of Judgment is going to be 80 quid. Heroes of Endor is going to be about 100 quid. And I think the Wampa is going to be about 30 quid. That's my thought process. But yeah, I'll let you know. So I'll cut now, and I'll let you know what I got, well, which will be tomorrow, which is now today when it cuts tomorrow. You get what I mean?
Oh my days! What an absolute nightmare that was. If this is collecting now, then I think, to be honest, then the sites need to adapt and change in order to cope for this kind of thing, either with better technology or better planning. So let me talk to you about what happened. I had 3 targets for today, and I only was really aiming for one of them, which was the Quitus on Pit of Judgment. The only place that I knew that was going to be in stock is In Demand Toys, so that was my primary focus, to actually get onto that site. But I was skimming some of the other sites just in case, like Star Action Figures, like Comics and Cocktails. Site started to crash at about 5 to 11, 5 to 12, and it was basically that theme for probably the next half an hour or so. Stopping and starting, getting to a page, loading a page, and then it's stopping as soon as you click the next action. Interestingly, during this time, Comics and Cocktails was absolutely fine with their website. No slowness, anything like that. And Star Action Figures actually took a great approach. It's actually stopped so many people actually getting on the site. So you were hit with, "We're busy right now, please try again later." Now, on hindsight, that is a much better approach, because what On Demand Toys have done, they basically allowed all that traffic to hit the website all at one go, because they put all the products live at one go, and the website was falling on its rear end. And that's essentially what was happening. However, Star Action Figures, what they've done is they've gone, "We're going to limit the amount of people that come into our website, so it's functional, and then other people have to keep trying." So the people on the website still had a decent experience. And kudos to Star Action Figures. I think that was absolutely the right approach. Because unfortunately, what happened to me on In Demand Toys wasn't a good customer experience whatsoever. Not only did I have to keep refreshing the pages, I ended up managed to get the Quintesson Judge in my basket and get to the payment screen. I clicked on the PayPal page after much refreshing, the PayPal Express option, and it got me through to PayPal. I actually paid for the item on PayPal and was directed back to the main page to confirm the order, after it crashed once or twice. Now, once I landed back on that page, I clicked submit, accepted the terms and conditions, and I was hit with an error message. And this error message was, for some reason, my address was there, all my details were there, but it was telling me I needed to log in and put a telephone number in. So I proceeded to click log in. That then wiped the entirety of everything that was in my basket, and then brought me back to the page where the item was now out of stock. And it was an absolutely disgusting customer experience. I'm not having to go at In Demand Toys here, because there's a lot of frustration going on about the way things are, but we need to adapt if this is how things are going to work moving forward. And I think this is where Star Action Figures have done an amazing job, because they're limited the amount of people that come to the site. It's not the best solution, because some people are left waiting, but at least the people who get to the stage that I got to could actually complete their order without loads of technology issues. And it was really poor for me. The other thing, you don't even need to worry about technology. Stagger your release dates. I mean, clear communication to the fans to go, right, at 12 o'clock, all the Transformers stuff's going to be on sale, and give the Transformers guys a go. 1 o'clock, all the Star Wars stuff. Because what In Demand did is they let everything come on one go, and there needs to be some learnings from that. Now, I have missed out on the Pit of Judgment. I haven't got one. And on hindsight, you know what? I've got two of the figures in different paint schemes, the Scarticon and the Quintesson. I haven't got the Executioner, is it? The repaint, the Alicon, or the Prosecutor, I forget which one it is. But he's got a different head, but essentially the same toy, and the two little minifigures. It would have been cool, but actually value-wise at £90, the value actually isn't there, apart from it being an exclusive. But it all wasn't bad news today, because thanks to Comics and Cocktails and Star Action Figures, I managed to pick up two exclusives. Now, while all this debacle was going on with In Demand Toys, managed to get on Comics and Cocktails, and I saw there the Heroes of Endor pack for $119.99 and the Wampa. And I kind of decided in my priority list of Star Wars stuff, I needed the Wampa first, because my focus is Empire Strikes Back, even though the Heroes of Endor set was a cool set. Went through Comics and Cocktails, paid for the item, and then went back to see if the Heroes of Endor set was in stock, and it wasn't. So I went back to focusing on In Demand, and at this point, I'd already thought I'd spent £90 to find that I hadn't. Anyway, what I noticed at this point, when I closed the In Demand tab, Star Action Figures tab was open, and it was now accessible to me as a customer, and they had the Heroes of Endor set in. And I thought about this for literally about 30 seconds and justified this in my head, is that I was going to pay £90 for the Quintesson pack and Pit of Judgment for figures I kind of already got in some better paint and a cool diorama, or I could pay £120 for a vehicle I don't have, which with that figure goes for around £80 to £100 anyway, and 4 Black Series figures that I don't have. And at that point I thought, you know what, I'm going to go in there. And I did have to pay postage on this. So unlike at Comics and Cocktails, it was free postage. Star Action Figures, they had postage, so it was an extra £3. But I pulled the trigger on that and I got that. So, you know what, both of these exclusives, because I had some money with PayPal and everything like that, have ended up costing me probably about 120 quid for the 2 Star Wars ones. And on hindsight now, even though I'm gutted I missed out on that Pit of Judgment, I think I've got the most value for my money. But those of you who run these websites, you don't need to think about overloading the servers or upgrading your servers and all that kind of stuff. Just a little bit of logic and a little bit of planning. If you'd have said Transformers are going on sale at this point, then your servers wouldn't have been actually overwhelmed. And it's a shame. It's a shame. And I'm gutting more about the experience, not that I actually missed out on it. But all in all, you know what? Not too bad. Not too bad. I've ended up with getting 4 of the Pulsecon exclusives. 3 of them Star Wars related, with the Mandalorian, Armourer, with the Heroes of Endor pack and the Wampa. And I've also managed to pick up that Breakdown and a Viacom 2 pack. I still may order that Hades figure. I'm in 2 minds about it. But we shall see. I actually, Comics and Cocktails still have the Cobra Commander in stock, and I was toying with the idea, but I've got the original one on pre-order, so I probably won't be going down that route. But anyway, what a cool payday. A little bit of frustration, but in a way, a really happy Star Wars related ending, and trust a fairy tale to give a little bit of a fairy tale ending.